Yes, welcome back to Ed Hunts. Today we are in Bristol and we're going to be heading down to a few places on the coast as well. We're going to start here at British Heart Foundation, do a bit of hunting, super fun. I did go to one more charity shop, but they were all duds, so I decided to head to Game in Bristol, which is still open. Let's have a look around. That's going to get you. But for 2 for 20 on this controller, it's pretty good. It's just expensive. Around a 5-minute walk away from Game is 8-Bit Planet, which is Bristol's retro game store right in the centre of town. Let's have a look around here. Our last stop is CeX in Bristol town centre. We are going to return here later after the boot sales, but let's have an initial look around to see what they have. Now, if I could get enough chop to get one of these Pokemon games, that would be absolutely amazing. However, it is looking pretty unlikely, judging it by the charity shops that we've already seen. But they do have some decent bits here. Got some Super Nintendo games hiding back there as well. Tailspin just there on the Game Gear. Some decent Mega Drive games there too. But I want to show you this 3DS game, Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. As you can see, it's £48, but it is not the English version. And when you come into a UK CEX, you expect to get a UK copy, especially if you're paying that high of a price. But we're now going to head down to Somerset, and we're going to head to a few boot sales. So I see you down in Somerset, and I see you down the boot sale.
The next day.
Right, we are at Cheddar Car Boots today. It is a little bit overcast, as you can see. There is a collector's market here as well, which you might check out. So let's hunt around and see what we can find.
is your room?
CeX, 60 quid, mate.
How much is that, mate?
10.
Morning. Morning, mate. You alright? How much is the mouse?
10 quid.
How much, sorry?
10 quid.
10. How about the Mew?
Fiver. Brand new.
Some games.
Cheddar car boot sale is split up into 4 different areas. We've got the hard standing area, the grass area, the hangar area where mostly there are dealers and food sellers, and we've got the collectors market which was closed on this day. So we are in the hangar area where there are mostly dealers, and we are just going through a dealer stall, going through some of the games. As you can see, a lot of them are pre-priced, but let's see if we can find anything here. Unfortunately, I did not find any games or items at this boot sale, so let's head to a later starting boot sale and hope for better luck.
Have a look around to see if we can find anything here. Let's hope we do. Sorry, let's have a look at the in this box.
Yeah.
How much are they? The games.
Xbox games, £1.
Pound each?
Yeah. You like books?
And
books are free. Just
same?
help yourself.
Is that the same?
We're the same.
Right? We're the same, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He needs loving and he needs a home.
There you go. Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4. Got £5 worth there.
That's lovely. Thank you. Take it in.
I'm
Thank
so glad
you.
he's got a home. I've
Thank you
so
very
with me for so
After a few days in Somerset, we are now back in Bristol. Let's head to the CEX just before we head back to London. I do have a few games to trade in and a few Blu-rays. The Blu-rays I did get off a buddy of mine. As you can see, we are trading all of those in just now, and they all do get accepted. We'll go through that in the games room, and we do get 2 games from this glass cabinet. But now we are back in London, and we've got a few vouchers left over from Bristol, and I want to get a Switch 2 game. So let's have a look in the cabinet and let's see if we can find it. So looking through this cabinet to see if we can see any Switch 2 related items. Just seems like they have a load of loose carts here. All the box games are just behind the staff at the tills. They do have a Switch 2 camera just here, and I thought the Switch 2 game would be a local to it. We've got Fire Emblem Engage here, but no Switch 2 game. So let's go look at the Switch games to see if it's over there. We've got this pretty cool Sonic cover for that Sonic Switch game, and they've got a load of other Switch games here, just standard now, as you see in most CEX stores. They've got a decent supply of GameCube games just here as well. Normally this store doesn't have too many, so this is actually a bit of an improvement of what I have seen in recent times. But looking at the bottom here and these PS Vita games, wow, there is not many on display anymore. But we do manage to get that Switch 2 game just here. We've got a few games to trade in that I got from the games room, but let's take this Switch 2 game home and let's see what I got over the weekend. And back. So just came back from Bristol and Somerset, and yeah, I went down there just for a few days, just for a little bit of a vacation, catch up with some old friends. But of course, got on a little vacation, especially in the UK. We're going to do some hunting as well. So managed to go to a few places in Bristol, and obviously went to a few boot sales as well. Now those boot sales were not overly successful. However, one of the friends that I was with had a big box of Blu-rays that he just had up in his attic, and he allowed me to go through them, and I picked a load out and we paid £6 for them. So let's go through the receipts from the pieces that I picked up from the boot sale, those Blu-rays, and a few other games to get that Switch 2 game. Now, so as you can see, the first few pieces on this receipt are the Blu-rays that I got from my buddy. Now I only paid £6 for all of them, and we got around £25 back, so pretty good profit there. All the Xbox One games, the Wii game and the 360 game all cost me £1 each at the boot sale, and in total we got £37.60, and we only paid around £12, so that's around a £25 profit from the pieces that we got from Bristol and Somerset. Now on this second receipt, these are just a few games that I had lying around at the games room, and I wanted to get that Switch 2 game, and I needed just a little bit of extra trading. So I got $8.40 for these games, and I paid around £5 for them. So not much profit here, but they just went towards the Switch 2 game. So as you can see, we made a pretty healthy profit, especially on those Blu-rays. The Xbox One games, not so much, but still made a bit of profit on them all the same. So we did manage to get quite a few pieces from Bristol. Got a few pieces from home as well. So start going through those pieces now, and I'll show you what I got from Bristol and Somerset. But obviously first I visited some charity shops in Bristol, and yeah, there was absolutely nothing in them. So we did head to CeX, and we did spend a few of those vouchers that I did already have. I had about a £25 voucher to spend in CeX. So cumulatively we had about £60 to spend in total. So the first game I got was actually a boxed for unboxed game, and that is Carmageddon 64 on the 64. Now this actually does come with its, obviously, the game and the manual and even the warranty card. Now this was priced up at the unboxed price, as you can see just there, but they had the box just sitting behind them, and I asked whether it came with it, and they were like, yep, comes with it. And literally just because it does not have a cardboard insert, otherwise this would have been £25. So yeah, Carmageddon on the 64, just £8. The second game that we've got with the CeX credit is quite a rare Game Boy game. It's loose, but I do already have it, so it will be available at the next gaming market, which will actually also be in Bristol, and that is Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 on the Game Boy. Now this is actually quite a rare card. They only have this in 2 or 3 CeX stores currently, and it's obviously £18 for a loose cart. But yeah, you get both Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 on the Game Boy on this cart. 1 is not very good, but 2 is quite good really, considering it's on the Game Boy. And yeah, that was just £18. So we did pass by a game as well. Now my local game has already shut down, but the game in Bristol is still open. So I was able to get 2 Switch controllers, and the first one is this Zelda one. Now they are wired controllers, but controllers are something that doesn't really tend to go down in price too much over time. People will always need controllers to play certain consoles. So I decided to get 2 of these. This is the first one in this 2 for £20 deal. And the next one is also Zelda, but it is green instead of grey. So yeah, 2 for £20 on that. And I actually kind of regret not getting more of them, to be honest. Kind of wish I got a couple more, but yeah, it is what it is. Now we did pass by one video game store as well, which was 8-Bit Planet. Now I always do pass by there if I am in the neighbourhood, if I'm in Bristol and it's not too far away from the town centre. Now we did get 1 Game Boy Advance game, and that is Final Fantasy Tactics Advance on Game Boy Advance. Now this one was £20. They did have it out for 23. I was able to barter them down slightly, as this does not have the manual, but it does have the poster and it does have the cardboard insert in the game, obviously, and it's not in terrible condition, so I thought for £20 wasn't a bad price. So we've got one more item from Bristol. Now this is from a toy store kind of geeky store that's located within the Galleries, which is a mall in Bristol town centre. Now I've actually picked up this before, and they still had some available. I couldn't believe it 2 years later after I'd been initially, and that is this Jago Killer Instinct figurine. Now this was, I believe, £10, just says on the front there. Now this actually regularly sells for around £25, so for him to sell it for £10 retail, I thought was actually really good. They still got another one in there as well, so if you're in Bristol or from Bristol, you probably have to pick this up for just £10. There was one left. So did get a couple more games once I headed back to London, and you would have seen that the last game that I picked up on camera was the Switch 2 game Bravely Default. Now this is the first game I've been able to get with CeX credit. It's the only one that has popped up in my local store. Mario Kart World has popped up a few times, but for £75 I just think that's too high of a price for me to pay right now. And Bravely Default HD Remaster is only £32. So if you do see this in your local CeX, you've got some voucher and you've got a Switch 2, this could be a tidy little purchase for you. Now I got this to sell at the Bristol Gaming Market, which is coming up this Sunday, or if it doesn't sell there, it will be coming with me to the Brighton Video Game Retro Market, which is at the end of this month. I do have 2 more pickups to go through, and we'll go through more of the information about those markets. We do have 2 PlayStation 5 games. Now they cost me collectively £16. We've got Yars Rising. And now the Yar series is one that's been around for quite a while, and yet they brought it to the PlayStation 5 now. And the second one is Sunsoft is Back. Now, it's a compilation of a few games that Sunsoft released back in the day on the arcade, and I think there's only 3 games on there, which is a bit of a con, but yeah, Sunsoft is back. And Sunsoft was a great developer back in the early 90s, late 80s, so yeah, really cool. So yeah, as I said, I will be selling at the Bristol Gaming Market this Sunday. Here's some more details. The Bristol Gaming Market will be taking place at Ashton Gate, the home of Bristol City Football Club, on Sunday, July 13th from 11 o'clock until 4 p.m. Visit www.bristolgamingmarket.com for more information and tickets. And I'll also be selling at the Video Game and Retro Market in Brighton on Saturday, July 26th. Here's some more details on that event. Taking place at the Stanley Deason Leisure Centre on Saturday, July 26th. Visit www.videogameretromarket.com for more information and tickets. So if you're going to make it down to either of those events, let me know in the comments. Would love to know if you're going to make either of them. If you enjoyed that, hit that like button, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.